a promise from the Ukrainian president to the U.S. Congress last December.
Your money is not charity. It's an investment in the global security and democracy that we handle in the most responsible way.
U.S. President Joe Biden pledged an additional $500 million in aid as he marked the one-year anniversary of the invasion, saying support for Ukraine would not waver.
All across my country, in big cities and small towns, Ukrainian flags fly from American homes. Over the past year, Democrats and Republicans in our United States Congress have come together to stand for freedom.
U.S. lawmakers' response in the first days of the invasion was swift, with overall broad support for assistance most say is key to American security.
The United States and our allies around the world quickly came to a consensus that we need to support Ukraine's defense of its people, territory, and way of life from Russian aggression.
Congress would ultimately send the largest aid package for a foreign conflict since the U.S. war in Iraq.
We had the situation where the administration was asking for not a trivial sum of money, and many people on the Hill, bipartisan, wanted them to go further and provide more offensive and powerful weapons to Ukraine. And so that's sort of unusual in American history. Typically, presidents are on the leading edge of these sorts of international conflicts.
But a year on, public support in the U.S. appears to be softening. According to a February 2023 Associated Press poll, 48% of Americans favor sending weapons, down from 60% who favored the move in a May poll of last year. Congressional support for Ukraine is still strong, but there is growing disagreement about how much aid to send and for how long.
What's the plan? To suggest that it's just open-ended, a blank check in Ukraine. Now remember, when we ship armament to Ukraine, we don't control where that armament's going because we've given them a blank check. I don't like blank checks.
Ukraine has made moves to address concerns about internal corruption, and U.S. lawmakers say they're satisfied with the results they've seen on first-hand visits.
We're very reassured that our military assistance is going to where it should be going to, and the accountability and transparency is there.
Leading foreign policy voices in the Senate say the outcome of the war in Ukraine will have consequences for U.S. policy for decades.
What is at stake is not only the Ukrainians' freedom, which in and of itself is important, but also the proposition that you cannot by force take another country's territory. Because if that can become the rule of the day, there are many despots and authoritarians who will seek to do that.
With no clear end to the conflict in sight, the U.S. Congress is expected to debate additional aid in the coming months. Katherine Gypson, VOA News, Capitol Hill.